Chapter 6, The Life I Wanted versus the Life I Had. My mother had a knack for finding cheap apartments in dangerous neighborhoods. In 1984, my dad's show took us to San Francisco, and my mother signed the month-to-month lease on a one-bedroom in the Tenderloin, San Francisco's ghetto. Our building was attached to another building, and my sister and I had a hobby of throwing my mother's hairbrush out of the window onto the roof of the neighboring building. My parents had to go downstairs, climb out of our Chinese acrobat downstairs neighbor's window onto the neighboring roof, and retrieve the flying hairbrush more than once. It was funny to see our parents on the roof. I wish they would have jumped off of it. I had to be enrolled in a huge inner city kindergarten in San Francisco so that I didn't get held back my first year of school. This school was bigger and way different from my tiny school in Middletown. As a white girl, I was part of the minority in this school. The playground was a large blacktop with 2 basketball hoops and graffitied walls that you could stand on top of if you were brave and rebellious enough to climb up there. It seemed the students spent an inordinate amount of time out here before school actually began. Looking back, I wonder if the teachers were just unable to get their shit together to start class on time. Anyway, I was terrified of being on the playground with all these black people. My parents only said bad things about them, like how they were thieves, rapists, and murderers, so naturally I was scared of them. No one ever bullied me at this school, though. No one bothered me at all, actually. As I was walking up the stairs one day, a black girl from my class ran up to me. "Hi, Kathy," she said. "It's Kate," I answered. "No, your name is Kathy," she replied. Okay, I accepted and began to adapt to my new name. My kindergarten was far away from our apartment. My dad had to take me on 2 different city buses every morning to get there. We'd leave 45 minutes before school started to get there on time. One day, while waiting for the second bus with my dad, an old bum approached me. "Hi," he marveled. "How are you?" He took my hand and kissed it. Here, get away," my father protectively shooed him. "She's beautiful," the bum complimented my father on his work. "Thank you, now go away," my dad replied. I was so flattered. I wanted to say, "No, let him stay. Tell me more, kind sir." But he respectfully left, his eyes glued to me wide with wonder as he departed. "Daddy, he said I was beautiful," I excitedly repeated to my protector. "You are beautiful, Punky. Wash your hands as soon as you get to school." I made a friend during my brief life in San Fran. Her name was Jennifer, and she was a beautiful, rich white girl with long, thick blonde hair that looked like it was professionally done every day. She went to a private school, and I met her at the park with her nanny one day. I don't know what her parents did for a living, as I only met them once briefly, but she was always with that nanny. She lived in a huge, gorgeous co-op that looked like a fairy tale castle. "Let's draw in the yellow room," she said one day, then opened the double doors to reveal a high-ceilinged living room type space furnished all in yellow and white. I literally exclaimed, "Wow," as she showed me inside. "I know," she agreed, very down-to-earthly. For a girl with such wealth, Jennifer was very non-pretentious. She did not show off or brag, and she agreed that her home was impressive, almost embarrassingly so. The curtains alone in this room must have cost more than my father made in a year, and I wouldn't dare sit on the Baroque-style furniture. We laid our drawing paper on the rug and drew. I tried to capture on paper my magical surroundings, but I was not that artistically gifted. The next time I visited Jennifer, she showed me the purple room. Again, as expected by its title, this living room type space was furnished all in dark purples and oak. The windowware was thick and heavy, blocking the light so as to enhance the theme. I didn't like this room as much as the yellow room. It reminded me too much of the dark drug den that was my home. I liked light and sun. I liked happy and bright. I suggested we go to another room. Jennifer was an only child, so she was happy to have a friend. Her nanny seemed glad she'd met me as well. She welcomed me every day with a smile and encouraged my visits. Jennifer had a great imagination. She was really an ideal child, very fun and kind. She shared her things and never said a negative word about anything. I never met any of her friends, so I don't know if she had any or not. But she didn't seem lonely or sad, just normal and well-adjusted, which was foreign and impressive to me. I wished I had a life like hers. One day, she suggested we have a scavenger hunt. She collected some things from her room and employed her nanny to hide them. "We need prizes," she said, so off to the uptown pharmacy the 3 of us went to buy ourselves prizes for finding Jennifer's own toys in her own house. I already loved this game. Apparently, there were going to be no losers. Jennifer was very good at buying prizes. Without hesitation, she garnered a basket of candies, stickers, buttons, and small toys for which to reward ourselves. She even remembered to buy little gift packs to wrap them all in. She very fairly thought to buy 2 of everything, equal in value but differing in color. I was humbled by the quality of her prizes she so casually purchased. Well, her nanny paid with her parents' money, to be fair, but still, I couldn't believe how generous she was allowed to be. When we got back to her house, she wrapped the trinkets in their gift bags and let me pick which one I wanted first. First things first, prizes. Then we got to hunting, which was over rather quickly as we were excellent scavengers, and her home was too clean to really hide anything for long. The prize assembling portion of the day had easily taken 3 times as long as the actual hunt, but I had had a blast. What a fun day that was. So innocent, so childlike. The next day, my dad made me a piñata. He put some small toys in a paper bag and hung it on a rope off a small hook in the ceiling. "Don't swing on the rope," he reprimanded harshly as I immediately tried to swing on the rope. He blindfolded me, then handed me a spatula. My mother and he laughed as I repeatedly swung and missed by long shots. They took pictures and we bonded like a normal family for 15 minutes or so. Then they retired to the bedroom. It was the middle of the day, so I assumed they were taking a nap. I wasn't tired, so I swung on the paper bag until it broke free from the ceiling, taking the hook and a small piece of plaster with it. Afraid, I laid down by the wall waiting for my parents to awake and beat me. Then I heard it. My parents' bed squeaking rhythmically and my mother's phlegmy moaning. Oh, gross. I knew what was going on. I listened, picturing what was taking place on the other side of the wall, and it drew me deep into an angry, sad, disgusted place, the rabbit hole. The tunnel of negative thoughts, self-pity, and fear. Too scared to make any noise that might interrupt them, I laid still, remained quiet, and listened. Because I had nowhere to go, I heard it all. A little while later, my father emerged from the bedroom. "I told you not to fucking swing on the rope," he screamed as he saw the homemade piñata still attached to the rope but not to the ceiling. He grabbed me by the arm and pulled me off the ground. He smacked me hard on the butt, then pushed me back down to the floor. He yelled at me, pointing a finger too close to my face. "That's the last time we ever do something nice for you." He stomped away into the bedroom and slammed the door. I sat there in a heap on the dirty floor alone, imagining what my friend Jennifer was doing at that moment. Further and further down the rabbit hole I fell.